Hello everyone, welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today I'm going to be doing an open tag response to my good friend John over at Thrifty Kniffy. Put out a great open tag earlier on today, and it's going to be the synthetic 6. So that's 6 knives, traditional knives with synthetic handles, so you know, non-natural materials. So we'll jump straight into it. This is in no particular order, I'll just work my way through. So the first one I have here is the Rough Rider sow belly, and this is part of the tortoise series. As you can see, it's the standard sow belly pattern. You have the clip blade there, in case you guys are interested. You've got the model number is 2449. Of the clip blade, you have the sheep's foot blade there, and of course the spade blade. And this is in the 440B steel. You can see you have a fantastic fit and finish. Nickel silver bolsters and pins, and this really nice sort of synthetic handle meant to look like imitation tortoise shell. Overall, one of my favourite Rough Rider sow bellies. A little bit light on the pull maybe, but I really enjoy the blade steel, and this one came razor sharp out of the box. So there's my first one there, the Rough Rider imitation tortoise sow belly. Next up, I have a case sodbuster. This is in the yellow synthetic. Really happy with the fit and finish of this one as well. You do have the brass pins and pivot there, and this is the carbon steel, so you can see this one is all teened up. Not coming out really well on camera, but there is quite a bit of patina on there. You can see a bit better on that side. One I use quite a lot, one of my favourite work knives. Just a knife to use on like every day. You have that really useful sort of drop point blade where you get the belly on there as well, and of course the carbon steel is fantastic. And as if you guys are familiar with my channel, you know I'm a big fan of carbon steel. So of course you can see that is in the yellow synthetic there that Case do a fantastic job of. You can see the pattern number there as well is 3137. You can see that patina there a little bit better in the light. So that is the Case Junior Sodbuster. Next up, probably one of the oldest knives in my collection. This is a Remington jackknife, and this is part of the, I believe they called it the Christmas tree series, and this is like a glittery celluloid or cellulose sort of scales. You can see the fit and finish even back then is absolutely fantastic, and I believe based on the tang stamp this is about 1930s. That's what I could find. So you have Remington UMC inside the circle, and then made in USA around the outside. And you can see it's still in fantastic shape. Sharpened a lot of like loads and loads of times. You can see the blade is worn down a little bit, but I put my own edge on there and it is razor sharp. Of course, carbon steel with that long pull. And then in the front of that, you do have a pen blade which has been used even more. But again, still plenty of life left in it. You can see you have the same sort of style handles on the back as well. I really do like this. It's probably one of the most unique knives in my collection. I haven't seen anything like this before, and I haven't been able to sort of find anything since I picked this up. So another one there, the Remington jackknife. I believe it was the Christmas series or the Christmas tree series, I believe they called this. I'm not 100% sure. I couldn't actually find that much information on it. Managed to find out the tang stamp though, obviously, as I said, is 1930s. But again, another really great synthetic handled knife. And then number 4, you guys know I couldn't do this list without including a Swiss Army knife. And this is one made for me by Dan over at Blade Bridge. And he put these wonderful Kironite scales on there, and they're sort of a teal colour. Similar to my channel logo is one of the reasons I really sort of gravitated towards this. You can see you have the G10 liners on there as well. And this is the Tinker pattern. So you have, of course, you have the Phillips on the back. You have the Reamer Owl. And then you have the standard sort of tool set on the front, all of which has been stonewashed by Dan himself. Did an absolute fantastic job with that. One of my favourite knives, and one that gets a hell of a lot of carry time. So that is the Victorinox Tinker. This is custom, of course, in the sort of teal Kironite scales. Next up, I've got a GEC, and this is the Bayou Trapper number 88 pattern. And this is in the Yeti acrylic. So again, a really fantastic knife. One thing I really like about this is it does remind me of a sow belly trapper, but it doesn't have the spade blade. It has this really nice sheep's foot blade, and it's pretty much an ideal knife for me. It's like, we all know I'm not a fan of the spade blade. But you can have the sheep's foot on here. You get a full sheep's foot, and then you also get that long sort of muskrat clip on there as well. And it does make for a really useful knife, and one that is very comfortable to carry, and one that I do use a lot of the time. I've had this patinas up quite a few times and cleaned it off. Recently cleaned it off, ready for its next use. Obviously I've oiled the blades for storage, just to make sure they don't sort of rust in storage. But you can see this Yeti acrylic, it does look solid white on the camera, but there is the sort of different wave colours in there. You can see the pattern and the swirls. It is very hard to pick up on camera, but in the daylight you can really see it, especially this sort of area here. There's lots of swirls, things like that. But you can see nickel silver bolsters, pins, and of course the fantastic GEC quality, as you all know. It's the number 88 pattern of the great knife. Last but not least, one that I will always take the chance to show off if I can. It is the USA made 80T, the new old stock I picked up recently. Pretty much the gemstone of my collection. The 80T is one of my favourite knives, and a favourite pattern for me, especially that sort of senior stockman, the large stockman sort of pattern, is one I sort of really idolise and feel myself gravitating towards. And of course you have the carbon steel blades, and you can see this has never been used. I mean, look at the polish on the blade still. I've not touched this. All I've done is sort of oil it and wipe it off a little bit, just so it doesn't patina up in storage. I want to keep this one as factory fresh as I can. See, Schrade USA80T, and of course this has the wonderful saw cut Delrin. Schrade and Oldtimer always did a fantastic job of this. I really love the colour change from the sort of the dark chocolate colour into the lighter caramel of the Delrin, and the saw cut ridges in there as well really make it for me. But of course, as a normal stockman pattern, you of course have the sheep's foot, the clip blade as I showed earlier, and the spay blade on there as well. And this, I think, by far is my favourite knife in my collection at the moment. I just love the shape of this clip point, and I was lucky enough to be able to pick up one as a user as well, which I'll grab now. So as I mentioned, I was lucky enough to get this one a little bit before the other one as a user. So this is the one I would carry on a daily basis. You can see the sheep's foot blade is very much worn down compared to the other one. If you look at the comparison there, you can see how much use this one's had. But there we go, guys. That's my open tag response to Thrifty Kniffy's Synthetic 6. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace out.